Alright, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. Ladies, gentlemen, animals, robots, aliens of all ages, today is Friday the 13th. So before you look over your shoulder and you see a man whose body is decaying, covered in possibly seaweed, smelling, rotting, wearing a hockey mask, and possibly having a pretty sharp or blunt object in his hand, staring you over your shoulder, I welcome you all here to my gameplay stream. It is the first of two gameplay streams for today. How you doing? Shout out to Jason, who's watching, I'm sure. And, what is up, my friends? Welcome to another amazing day of streaming here on YouTube. Welcome to a big variety day, as usual. As you know, being a variety streamer, I enjoy myself playing a big variety of games, and today is certainly no exception. For today, Friday the 13th, is the premiere of Hades on the Xbox Series X. Now, for those of you guys who know what this game is, just happened. I had a power flicker. Look at that. I had a power flicker, and then it went back on. Well, that's why I'm happy that I have a battery backup. If I have a power flicker, the power comes right back. Anyway, for those of you who know what this game is, a lot of people said Hades was actually one of the best games of 2020. Some people even named it Game of the Year, and I didn't play it. And that's pretty crazy that there's a game that some people hold in such high regards, right? And I didn't even touch it. Although what's funny is, if you guys don't even know, Hades came out in 2018. Yeah, I was actually doing some research last night about it, because I was setting up today's stream, and when you set up a stream on YouTube, you got to type in the name of the game, so the stream says what game you're going to be playing, and it said Hades 2018. I was like, what? I thought the game came out last year. And then I looked it up. It's like, no, actually, it released in December 2018, early access. And then over the course of 2019, they repeatedly, updated it for early supporters and the like. And then the full-on release, I guess, actually came out in 2020 on PC. So, officially, this game is 2018 release. As crazy as that sounds, because most people just played it last year. Okay? So, here's the deal. I'm excited for this game for multiple reasons. First of all, it's on Game Pass on the Xbox Series X, which gives me opportunity to play a game that normally I wouldn't play, just being honest here. A roguelike, a more small-scale game than most of the games that I would usually play. And because it's on Game Pass, this is now giving me opportunity to try out a game without any kind of guaranteed committal, which is good, that I can test something out and not have to commit to playing a full playthrough of it because it's on Game Pass. I'm not dropping money on this game and saying, oh, this has to be a part of my regular schedule because I bought it, you see? And I really feel that this is going to be a humongous benefit to the future of my content and my streams, because I'll be able to try out games that normally I wouldn't have bothered trying out because I don't have to invest in them. You know what I'm saying? In fact, my Microsoft Game Pass just renewed last night. It hit my PayPal. I was like, oh, okay. And just think of all the stuff that we did under Game Pass under the last 30 days that I wouldn't have normally even checked out at all. There's entire playthroughs I'm doing right now, right? The Medium, Last Stop, that I Microsoft Flight Simulator. These are all games I never would have played if I didn't have Game Pass. So, this is pretty outstanding. And the fact that so many people earlier this year told me that this game is great and that it's a shame that I was playing Returnal as my first example of what a roguelike game is, because they actually felt that Returnal was not a great representation of what that genre of game had to offer. That Hades, if you play it a certain way, essentially, every single time that you run through the game, you will have progress. Whether it's you get permanent upgrades, permanent currency to buy upgrades, story developments. Every time you go through Hades, even if you die, which is expected is going to happen, it's a roguelike, you're going to get something out of it. Never when you're playing this game does it feel like you're wasting time like Returnal does. When you're running through stages for 2-3 hours, you get to the boss, you die. Oh, you wasted 3 hours. You got nothing for it. Apparently, this game does not do that, which is genius, which is what I was mainly saying I didn't like about the roguelike formula. I said, I don't have time to waste. I'm a content creator. My time is valuable. I want to play a game where I feel like I'm always having progression. And essentially, that's what they did with this game, which is great. I'm excited to finally check it out today. Now, I do want to reiterate, just because I am playing Hades today does not mean I'm committing to doing a full playthrough of it. I'm well aware that the game is old. It's not a new release at all. All right, it came out last year. Most people played it last year. Some people have been playing it since 2018, so that's number one. I'm also aware the game is incredibly repetitive to the point where to actually watch me play it may not be the most entertaining thing. And on top of all of that, with all the new releases right around the corner, in fact, just to give you guys some perspective, within the next week, new releases are as follows. 12 Minutes is finally coming out. Later on, well, I would say later next week. I think it's Thursday of next week. So, you know, less than a week away. And I'm very excited for that because it's a completely unique game. Then we've got the Ghost of Tsushima expansion, Ghost of Ikushima, to check out. All right. Then we've got Psychonauts 2 at the end of this month. And, of course, pair that with all the other stuff that I'm already playing. We've already got quite a lot going on this month. And that's new content, not older games, you see. Now, by the way, I'm also not saying that just because that's the case, that I will not be checking out or committing to this game. It all depends on how it goes. If I play today and I have a good amount of fun and you guys are enjoying the stream, you're like, man, I hope you play that again. Then maybe I will play it again. I could play it again as early as Monday if I want. So that's cool. I like having that flexibility. If I like it, I play it, and you guys enjoy it, I'm enjoying it. You know, people support it, let's be honest here too, because there are some games that I like, and for whatever reason, they just don't resonate with the audience. For example, Metroidvania games. I like them. I've played many over the years, yet for some reason, they never seem to resonate with the audience. So I don't know how this game will resonate with the viewing audience. We'll have to see how it goes today. Okay? So I guess we'll find out. All right? And then, you know, that will determine the future. Will this end up being a game that I put into my rotation and I play at length? Is this a game that I play once or twice and we put it on hold and maybe I go back to it later? Or is this a game that I play and I never go back to it at all? Right? I don't know. I have no idea, but we're going to find out starting today. All right? Should be pretty exciting. And again, massive benefit to having an Xbox Series X and Game Pass that I get to do this. I would be missing out on so much gaming content if I did not have an Xbox Series X or Game Pass right now. And I'm so happy. I mean, the past few weeks, right? The past month, I've done so much. Right now, I'm in the midst of doing multiple playthroughs that are Game Pass exclusive. So this is really awesome. Really, really awesome. Oh my God, excuse me. It's absolutely... oh my God, what's going on? Oh my God. Well, if you can't tell, I'm having some coffee. Or not coffee, I'm having some seltzer water this morning. And I'm fucking exploding. Excuse me, it's absolutely disgusting. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I'm very upset that I'm such a revolting individual. I know you are already, so I want you to know that I'm just as upset as you. Okay. So that is today's first gameplay stream. Later tonight, it is my weekly throwback Street Fighter session. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, there we go. I'm ready to go. I'm geared up in my Ryu shirt. I'm ready for old school Street Fighter fun. And I hope to God this week the connections are better, because last week was like, I love old school Street Fighter, but some weeks are just completely different experience than others. And last week was just like every match I played was laggy and was dropping inputs, and it was a really annoying mess. So I hope that this week we have a completely different gameplay experience and have a good time tonight. That's at 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. All right, 2 hours of old school fun on the late stream. So I hope you will join me. Okay, should be a good time. I hope. Not much I can do about making the game work. All right. Now, also, ladies and gentlemen, today is a unprecedented heat wave. Again, this is the third one. I say it's unprecedented, yet this is the third one we had this year. I live in Washington State. It's not supposed to be hot here at all. Really. There's not supposed to be incredibly hot summer weather here in Washington State where I live. It's one of the reasons I moved here is because it's supposed to be moderate weather all the time. Ladies and gentlemen, we have not had rain, major rain, in months. This is the longest drought that Washington State has ever had in recorded history. And on top of that, it's the hottest summer we've ever had in recorded history. So today it's supposed to be upwards of, last I checked it said 98 degrees. I'm going to check just because that band annoys me and I don't want to, okay. According to the weather on my phone, it claims we're going to go up to 97 degrees. So, take that. We didn't hit the boy band level yet. But 97 degrees outside equates to about 80 degrees or hotter inside. In fact, just downstairs now it's about 85 degrees in my house. In my office here, it's in the 70s because I have the air conditioner on maximum blast. But it's undoubtedly going to heat up even further. Okay? So, FYI, I'm doing my best. I hope you guys understand that. I will be streaming all day long in this heat. And I'm hoping that the air conditioner will keep the room down to a reasonable temperature. But sadly, I can't really control it. If it gets super hot, it gets super hot. I'll do my best now. Today, when it comes to things that will make me hot, yes, of course we have the tips goal in effect. And of course, if we raise $100 to tips, you guys will pick a vest for me to wear. But last night, you guys picked platinum. So the platinum has been eliminated, which means that the vests eligible today will be as follows. You ready? The beige, the red, the denim. Actually, no, hold on. I screwed up. It should be the red, the denim, the gold, and the camo. That's what should be eligible for today because the beige is actually, we had worn, I can't even remember anymore. But anyway, those will be the vests eligible. Out of those vests, 3 of them are lighter, which is good. Both the denim, the gold, and the camo are all lighter vests. The red is a heavier vest, but certainly not as heavy as, say, the platinum. So, good stuff. And thank you guys in advance, but I'm just saying that's what's eligible for today, just so you guys know what's going on. Okay? This heat wave is crazy. I'm hoping this is really it. Like, after today, I seriously hope this is the final heat wave. We've had 3 over the last month and a half. You know, global warming is absolutely real. And I hope that this is the end of it for the season because, man, my wife and I just wanted to cool down and have a good fall. All right? Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what's going on here. All right? Let's talk about the schedule for the rest of the week so you guys know what's going on because tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, is a very important day. Tomorrow, Saturday, August 14th, is the Fallout New Vegas fundraising marathon. It is going to be Fallout New Vegas all day long, starting at 10:45 a.m. Pacific time, running all through the day till around 7 to 8 p.m., much like when I do any gaming marathon, all right? Limited breaks, likely one break in there to actually eat my meal, but there will be a live DSP Tries It also during that show. You guys are going to help me during the course of the day to determine what it is that I'm going to order to do a live DSP Tries It on the show. I have no idea as of right now. I have not had a single moment to really look at food and stuff and see what's available. But there will be a live DSP Tries It tomorrow during the show. Okay? So I hope that you guys will join me for that. In addition, it's Endgame Fallout New Vegas. We just finished the Honest Hearts DLC. So I'm going to attempt now to do some of the follow requests that I haven't done. I'm going to try to do the odds and ends in the game before we get to the finale. Apparently, I'm being told there's actually some major areas I didn't even go to yet in the game, which is pretty crazy to think about. But apparently there's a few areas I have not checked out yet on the map. So I'm going to try to do that and do follow requesting. And once we finally do that, we'll make our major choice to side with Mr. House, as I said I'm going to do in this playthrough. And once all that's done and we do follow requesting, if we, depending on how long it takes, I may start up the final DLC called Lonesome Road. Once Lonesome Road is done, then it's just the home stretch of the game. So Fallout New Vegas has been a crazy fun run. I've been playing it for 2 straight months, and I'm really enjoying it, and it's going to basically within the next week to 2 weeks come to an end, depending on how far we get in this marathon tomorrow, okay? So, yes, tomorrow should be a great stream. Now, in addition, tomorrow is a very important fundraiser for me. Why? My mortgage is due on Sunday. I don't have the money for it, all right? I have some of it. I don't have all of it, and there's really nothing I can do about it. I have to raise funds between today, tomorrow, and essentially Sunday in order to pay my mortgage, all right? So that's why I'm doing this special fundraiser tomorrow for tips. I hope you will join me, and I hope if you can, you will support the stream and tip me tomorrow if you can, because that's exactly where it's going, and, there's nothing else I can do about it. It's, I have no other way to get by this tougher time, but except doing a special event. All right? So I hope that tomorrow you guys will chill with me, Fallout New Vegas all day long, and a special fundraising marathon to raise enough to pay my mortgage, essentially. All right? Then, on Sunday, we get back to normally scheduled gameplay. We're going to be finishing up the medium on my first gameplay stream on Sunday. And then we're going to be doing my weekly chill late night session of Microsoft Flight Simulator on the late stream. It's going to be pretty fun. We're going to start off in Africa and check out stuff in the continent of Africa. And then, of course, move on to other places in the world. Okay? Very nice. Then on Monday, the day is completely up in the air. I could do whatever I want on Monday, which is, by the way, my final streaming day of the week. I could play more Fallout New Vegas if I feel like it. Or, if I like Hades today, I could do a major stream of Hades on Monday to continue in the game. Alright? We'll see what happens based on today, and we'll make our determination of what I'm doing over the course of the weekend. Okay? Monday night is more of the same, but likely Monday night I'm going to play Last Stop, which is the narrative-based game from Annapurna Interactive that I've really been enjoying. Last night I played 2 hours of this game, and my brain felt like I tossed it in a microwave. The plot of this game is so freaking weird. So weird. I couldn't even describe to you what this game is about. Is it about a bunch of teen angst, as well as a man that turns into a green angel alien and zaps people out of existence? Or is it about a hipster game developer and a middle-aged single dad swapping bodies like Freaky Friday? Or is it about one of the worst women I've ever seen on the planet who cheats on her entire family and only cares about herself? And, I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like, the plot of the game is all over the place. It doesn't even make sense how inconsistent the game is. It's so confusing. But it's one of the most riveting games I've played in ages because it's so unique. So I'm excited to play more of it on Monday, okay? And I hope that you guys will join me on Monday for the fun. Fair enough. By the way, these pop-up messages you guys are seeing on stream, this is a glitch. I don't know how this is happening. But all those pop-up messages you guys are seeing right now on stream are not actually real. These appear to be backed up messages. Because they're just popping up non-stop, but there is no contributions coming in right now. Yeah, there's nothing. I'm looking at all of them, and none of them were real. But I remember those people actually contributing at one point. So it sounds to me like Stream Elements was screwed up, or excuse me, Stream Labs was screwed up and backed up, and somehow they just cleared up and like basically pushed them through the queue. These people previously contributed and now they're getting their pop-ups. That is some weird stuff, because I just looked and there's only been one super chat so far today. That's weird. Alright, anyway. So anyway, Monday night, more Last Stop, and that will be my final stream of the week. I'm off from streaming on Tuesday. Next week is going to be a unique mix. It's going to be me continuing on with Fallout New Vegas. It's also going to be the premiere of the new game 12 Minutes. And then also at some point during the week, the Ghost of Ikushima expansion. Alright, and of all the usual stuff I've been doing, it's going to be a great week coming up. Good variety for sure, plus new release content. So it should be a good time. Okay. Alright, let's see. I'm just trying to think, is there anything else that I want to shout out before we get to kind of plugs and everything today? No. I guess we're good. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am an independent content creator. What that means is that I am on my own. I don't have any partnerships. I don't have any sponsorships. You're not going to hear me plugging any products during the course of my streams, nor are you going to see me doing any kind of crazy advertisement or shilling for any company. All right, I'm not about that. I never have been. I never will be. And I hope that you guys understand that. That's how I'm different than most other people who do this full time. Okay? And because of that, I'm reliant on your support and crowdfunding in order to make a living. And it works. You guys have appreciated the content that I've put out over the last 13 plus years and supported it on a daily basis on these live streams. And it allows me to make a living doing it. Okay? So I want to say thank you to everyone who comes and chills with me every day. Thank you to those who hang out and have fun conversation and enjoy games for face value. This is my hobby as well as my job, and this always was my hobby during the course of my life up until I finally, unexpectedly, found a way to turn it into a job about a decade ago. Okay? And I appreciate the fact that every day I get to come to streams and chill with you guys and share my passion for gaming and what I'm doing here, you know, as a way to make a living. It's really unique. I'm lucky, I know that, and I appreciate every bit of support that you guys give me. That's why I shout them all out. A lot of other content creators will not do that. I give a shout out to every single person who supports my streams, okay? So all that being said, thank you in advance to anyone who chills with me today, and thank you in advance to anyone who goes above and beyond just being a standard stream viewer and actually goes out of their way to support the streams. How can you support the streams? I'll tell you how. First of all, you can become a channel member. By doing so, you earn so many fun perks, including getting your name highlighted in the stream chat, getting a cool chat crown badge to show how long you've been a supporter, access to a ton of emotes. As of now, it's 19 and growing. And on top of all of that, not having to abide by the slow mode rules on this channel. All right, being able to talk as much as you would like, okay? All great benefits. By the way, memberships here are cheaper than they used to be over on Twitch. All right, and I appreciate that. Right now, we're currently at 228 members. Yes, we were higher than that. At one point, we were at 241. But over the past couple of days, here's what happened. We're hitting the anniversary of when I first became a YouTube streamer about 3 months ago. It happened right around the middle of May when I picked up my stuff and I left Twitch for good, and I came over here to YouTube. And some people at that point immediately became members, but for some odd reason, they didn't go on auto-renewal, which is weird because people are telling me when you become a member on YouTube, by default, it's auto-renewable. But so every month around this time, we always see a dip in membership. So I don't understand how that works. How is it auto-renew if then we see a dip? It doesn't seem to make sense. But it happens every month, okay? So I hope that you guys will consider becoming a channel member, all right? If you are not, I would like to get back up to the channel record, which is 241, relatively soon if we can. And obviously, by the end of this month, I would like to hit a new record of 275 members. If we do that, we'll be doing a special marathon event of your choice. Choices including things like a retrospective event, a Indies marathon, a Rageathon, or maybe the return of the Game Pass marathon, which you guys really liked last week. So maybe we'll do another one of those, okay? Many options of things that we can do for a fun marathon. So please consider becoming a member, and thank you in advance to those who do. In addition, if you want to contribute through YouTube itself, you can do what's called a super chat or super sticker. If you do those, you get a pop-up message in the chat itself to highlight your contribution. I will give you a shout out for said contribution on the stream, and I'm appreciative of anyone who becomes a channel member or a super chat, because those help me in the long term. Essentially, if you become a channel member today or you do a super chat or super sticker, I will see some positive benefit from that in late September. So thank you to those who long-term support my channel like that. But matter of factly, I need help in the short term. As I said, I'm trying to raise funds to pay my mortgage over the course of this weekend. So if you want to help me out more right now, and you have the capability to tip me, please tip me above anything else. When you tip me, those are funds I get immediately that I can put towards important stuff, namely my mortgage right now. So please consider tipping. Use two ways you can tip. You can look at the description of this video, and there's a link. Or you can type !tip into the stream chat, and that will also bring up the link, okay? Now, as I've already stated, we have goals in effect for levels of tipping. Let's talk about those. If we raise $50 of tips today, I will put on my Gunner glasses. If we raise $100 of tips, you guys will be able to pick a vest for me to wear live. Choices including red, gold, camo, and denim. Those are the vests that are in running today. Okay? If we raise the full tips goal of $150, I'll put on a cowboy hat. Now, this hasn't happened in many days. So hopefully it would happen today. I'm not even kidding you. I've not hit a tips goal this week at all. I don't know why, but it just is what it is, I guess. It sucks because now I need to support more than ever to pay this mortgage over the weekend, and the tips have been essentially much lower than usual. Hopefully we can turn that around today. With the fact that I'm playing a new game in Hades and stuff like that, I guess we'll see. Okay? So, let's see how today goes. Thank you guys in advance for any contributions. I'm just going to throw this out there. Please be careful with your information and be careful with what you put out on the internet, because sadly, the more information you reveal, the more can be used against you for online trolling and bullying purposes. You may not realize it, but all the information that you put out there on the internet at places like Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, all those places are dangerous, because if you put personal information out, people can use that to harass you just because they can. There's people out there who, just because they can get away with it anonymously, they'll do it. They don't even get anything out of it. They're just nut jobs, okay? And the reason I say this is because people come to the streams and they start using their real name. They start posting up elaborate information about themselves in the chat, and I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Bad move. You want to separate yourself from all of that personal information. You don't want to be putting out personal stuff about yourself, because these people are messed up in the head and they will do whatever they can to harass people because they get away with it. That's how they get their jollies doing it. Oh man, I feel so good about myself because I could fuck with someone on the internet today. I know that sounds really stupid because it is, but some people are just like that. Okay? So all that being said, please be aware of this threat, and please do not toss all your information on the internet. Be careful what you put out there. All right? All right, so I believe we shall move on to the news segment of this pre-stream. And today I have a couple quick things to talk about. First of all, today is the Diablo 2 remastered beta for those who pre-ordered the game. Now, in recent weeks, as we all know, we have all heard the horrendous, messed up stories coming out of Activision Blizzard. They're being sued, all right, right now, by the state of California for monstrously abusing their employees. Sexual harassment, ongoing unequal treatment based on gender. Some of the most heinous stuff I've heard out of a game development company, right? So it's funny because just a week or two ago, right, we were all rallying anti-Blizzard, anti-Activision. I was going to do a Call of Duty stream, and people said, Phil, are you really going to play Call of Duty in this current climate where we know what a bad company they are and all these scumbags that work for them? And in the last 2 to 3 weeks, they've had a series of resignations. The head of Blizzard resigned, the head of their human resources department resigned, and then in the last couple of weeks, other people who were the heads of major projects resigned. They've had, I believe, about arguably like 5, 6, 7 major leadership position resignations in the last couple of weeks. Okay? But today, if you pre-ordered the Diablo 2 remaster, the beta is live, and it seems that, I'm not even exaggerating, people just forgot all about this. Oh, well, it's Diablo, so we're playing it today. Like, wait. You were all gung-ho that you were completely boycotting Activision Blizzard. You said, oh, as a public, we're standing against mistreatment of employees, and we're not going to be buying their games or support. Oh, Diablo. Oh, let's get over there. Like, what? Wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. The funny part about this is, everyone seems to go about it completely differently, all right? Some people say this company is so heinous, they absolutely refuse to ever do anything regarding Activision Blizzard ever again. That means no Call of Duty, no MMOs, you know what I mean? Like, nothing. I'm canceling everything. Some people are saying that they disagree with what happened internally in the company, but they can separate the art from the company. That the end product result of the tireless effort of the employees of the company should not now suffer because the leadership of the company were a bunch of scumbags. Okay. Some of the stuff that people have done has completely and utterly confused me. For example, and this is not, I'm not kidding here. This actually happened. I'm not making this up for comedy purposes on my pre-stream today. There was thousands of gamers who banded together and decided to stage a stand-in protest inside of World of Warcraft because of all this stuff happening. So I just want you to think about this for a second. People who don't support Activision Blizzard and their heinous actions against their employees booted up a game that requires you to pay a subscription fee to play it, supporting the company financially, and played the game. We're protesting your company by paying you money to play your game. I read some of this news sometimes like, and Penn A. Small says, yeah, on their store mounts too. Yes, on the mounts that they spent insane money to get, they rode in on their fucking $10,000 mounts, tossing their unique, emotes and actions into the air that they spent countless time grinding. They celebrated. They celebrated their protest of the company in the game. So anyway, the point that I'm saying here is anyone is free to do whatever they want in regards to this Activision Blizzard fiasco. I think we can all collectively at least agree that if any of the accusations are true, obviously this is time for major change. This is a AAA studio that previously we had all thought was like above reproach, and come to find out they're actually one of the worst offenders, right? We want change. We won't want these employees being abused. We want the leadership to be shaken up. We want them to all fucking get to reality here. Just because video games are video games and people still don't take them seriously, video games are the biggest entertainment medium on the planet. They make more money than anything else on Earth. Therefore, it makes fucking sense that it's time to start taking shit seriously and stop having employee abuse, right? I think we can all collectively agree on that. But the thing is, everyone is free to decide how they want to react and how they want to make choices in the future. If you honestly feel that Activision Blizzard has done such heinous things, then don't support them, right? Don't play their games, don't buy their content or whatever. But there are some people who do feel like, oh, I can separate the art from the company. And just because I don't want Activision Blizzard, doing these awful things to their employees, doesn't mean that I can't pre-order the Diablo 2 beta and enjoy it today because it's coming out soon and, finally just hit. So, it really depends. What I don't like is these hypocrites. They'll stand there, they'll be on their soapboxes. They're the biggest people who are saying, down with Blizzard, down with Activision, awful, awful, awful. Oh, I'm playing Diablo 2 today. Like, what? Okay. Like, okay, what? So, I guess we'll see, but if you're wondering, a lot of people are talking about Diablo 2 on the internet today, that's why. Because the beta, for those who already pre-ordered the Diablo 2 remaster, went live today. And so I'm sure a lot of people will be partaking in said beta to check it out. You know what I'm curious about? Will this beta be any good? And here's why I say that. They just recently put out remasters that were terrible. Remember they just did that Warcraft 3, when they re-released it, and people are saying it's like the worst modern remake, remaster, whatever you want to call it, like ever. Like people are saying it really is garbage. It's like a shovelware, and they can't believe it came out of Activision Blizzard because usually they have very high standards, and the fact that this came out in that way really makes you feel like they just didn't care. It was a money-making venture rather than them caring about what they were pumping out. So, I guess we'll see. I guess we shall see what happens, but more power to those who are protesting Activision Blizzard, alright? But also, enjoy Diablo 2 if you're playing it, if you're the kind of person who is separating the work from the company, alright? I understand both schools. I say just try not to be hypocritical. If you're going to outright just say boycott everything, then you probably shouldn't be playing Diablo 2. I'm just saying, right? For me personally, it's like, I'll be honest with you. Right now, if I were to pick up a controller and play Call of Duty, I'd probably feel bad. I'm just being honest. Like, that's how I am. Like, I would honestly, genuinely feel bad if I was still playing Call of Duty right now. I'd be like, dude, it doesn't feel the same, knowing that these assholes acted the way they did. And quite frankly, this may be the first year in many years that I just don't play the new Call of Duty. I mean, at this point, we don't even have any information on it. They've literally held off announcing it because of this scandal. They felt that if they announced it right away after the scandal hit, no one's going to care about Call of Duty. But just in particular, all right, this year, there is major competition for Call of Duty. Major competition. You've got Battlefield, and you've got Halo Infinite. So two other major AAA level FPS franchises. Usually Call of Duty has little to no competition. This year they've got big competition. So now would be the year. With this scandal going on, now would be the year for Call of Duty to be unthroned. And I've actually heard that, in particular, people who've been playing hardcore Call of Duty Warzone are dropping Warzone in droves and moving over to other games like Apex Legends and stuff like that because they just can't stomach playing it anymore. Okay? So I guess my question is going to be, what is going to happen with Call of Duty this year? Is this the year, after like a decade of dominance, is this the year where Call of Duty will be unseated and the other competitors will have enough of a market share to cut out the Call of Duty dominance? Or will none of this matter come October, and will people still buy the game, right? I guess we're going to find out. Well, like I said, for me, this may be the year I actually skip it. I might just skip it this year and focus on Battlefield and Halo. Might be the way to go. We'll see. Okay. Couple other news stories. The Grand Theft Auto original remastered trilogy apparently is real. And we have more details on it today. I talked about this briefly yesterday, but now more details have been unearthed. It will be GTA 3, GTA Vice City, and GTA San Andreas. Gameplay elements will essentially be the same with maybe some quality of life improvements. But the major upgrade that we're talking about, it's going to be running on the Unreal Engine. The Unreal Engine. Wow. Well, the Unreal Engine has been used in so many games, good and bad, that I couldn't even tell you what that means. Like, it could be that the graphics will be outstanding. They'll be modernized. The character models look outstanding. You know, new shading, shadows. Lighting will be amazing. Like, everything will be great. It could also mean the game looks like shit. It really depends on how much effort they put into it. I mean, the Unreal Engine's great, but so many games use it that there's really, you can't even say, oh, that means that it's insanely good or anything like that. So I guess we'll see. But obviously, any improvement to those games is a good thing. Okay? Those games have, basically, they've aged to the point where, like, they're definitely still fun to play. But the fact that these games are still to this day remain popular, but they've never remade them, is just kind of crazy. You know, Rockstar typically almost never remakes games. So the fact that they are finally doing this is crazy. The other crazy rumor is, apparently it's coming out during the hardcore gaming season, even though there's been no official announcement. The rumor is it's coming out, you know, in the fall/holiday time frame, which is insane because there's already so many other games coming out, but this could easily become one of the most sought after games this holiday season because of the nostalgia factor, because of the popularity factor of GTA, right? Pretty crazy. I guess we're going to find out. We're going to find out soon, I hope. I hope we get concrete information. You know, I have played each of those games twice. Once I played them long ago. I want to say it was like 2012 or something like that was the first time I played them. And then it was a few years ago. I actually went back and I replayed them all, the HD versions that were made for modernized consoles. Although admittedly those HD versions were not great. It was still the original graphics, just basically upscaled to play on a modern console. The controls were still quite bad and everything. Playing those games a third time now with, you know, on a modern console, modernized graphics could be pretty interesting. But I don't know how it's going to work. You know, we have no details right now. We've seen nothing, so I guess it remains to be seen. Okay. All right. Last news story for today. It's a follow-up story. All right. A follow-up story. This follow-up story is about Abandoned, which I know you guys are just, you're chomping at the bit for information about Abandoned. Right? Right? You guys absolutely are dying for information about Abandoned. You've been wanting to hear more about this constantly. And the fact that there's been no information about Abandoned has really been killing everyone. In truth, there was hype for Abandoned until their freaking app didn't work on Tuesday. And now it's like everyone's like, alright, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Everyone was giving them a benefit of the doubt and hoping and believing that there was going to be information about Abandoned this week. And then the trailer, basically the app or whatever, didn't work. It said, come back soon. And it hasn't updated since. What's funny is they came out and said, oh, well, you know, there's a freaking, an issue, a technical issue, and you guys should understand that, right? So, yeah, oh, technical issue, now the app won't work, but we'll fix it. And they've actually been tweeting over and over, oh, the fix is in progress, the fix is coming, don't worry, the app will work, the in-game teaser will work, it's coming, we're working hard on it to fix it. Alright? Ladies and gentlemen, as of 2 hours ago, Blue Box Studio, that is the studio tweeting about the game and making the game, deleted all their tweets regarding anything with the Abandoned app. They're all gone. They systematically went through and deleted all those tweets about the app. Interesting. So, what is going on? Now, the thing is, people have looked into this company, and essentially this game has never, or this company has never really made a game at all. Over the past 5 to 6 years, multiple times they claim they're a game development company, and they're real, and they're making games. And then when you actually look at them, they never really pump out anything. They always say they're working on it, and then they cancel it. And there's some excuse, or they just never mention it again. This has happened multiple times. So, what's really weird about this is, if this is some kind of elaborate setup by Kojima, this is the most ridiculous long-form setup in history. 6+ years in the making. I don't buy it at this point. I really think this company is just a little piece of shit company that doesn't even make games. They just dick around, you know. It's probably run by someone who has a bunch of fucking money. And they just want to dick around. They have too much free time. They love all this attention that they got because people made up all these crazy conspiracy theories about this company tied with Kojima or whatever. But at this point, I find it very hard to believe that this is anything of any note. The fact that this company is pulling everyone's leg over and over and over and over, right? And I almost guarantee you that what will happen is this app will never work, right? It's just not. It's never going to work. I just think it's baloney. I do. I think it's baloney. Maybe they pulled the wool over the eyes of a few people to get money, investment money or whatever, but it just doesn't sound to me like this is anything major. I'm just being honest. Even Kojima wouldn't waste 6 years on this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this setup would have had to take so long to set up that he was working on Metal Gear Solid, right? Or finishing Metal Gear Solid 5 when this setup would have begun. I don't buy this at all. You know, I just don't. I think this is bullshit. And I think this company is messing with everyone. I don't think the app will ever work. I think that they're just completely screwing with everyone and they're trying to get attention. But I don't think that it's gonna formulate into anything beneficial to anyone. I don't even think they're gonna sell a game. Like I said, this seems like a case of some rich guy who's just tossing money around fucking with people. You know? So, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe today the app will actually update like they promised. But at the same time, why did they delete all the tweets about it? That doesn't seem to make much sense, does it? So, I don't know, man. I don't know. Alright, that's the news. Let's now jump into shoutouts. So the first thing we'll do is YouTube shoutouts. So, we have LSB Gaming and Wind Carl each doing a super chat saying, do I hate the movie Mars Attacks because the aliens say ack, ack, ack? Isn't it funny that LSB Gaming and Wind Carl each said exactly the same thing with this super chat? It's almost as if maybe either the same person or perhaps they're sitting on the same detractor restream. Even though no one said ack, ack, ack this morning and no one's brought up Mars Attacks, it's just funny that two people somehow had simultaneously exactly the same thought and decided to do a super chat with the same exact content in it at exactly the same time. Isn't that interesting? Shooter McGavin has done a $5 super chat and says, how can you say everyone is free to protest however they want, to protest Blizzard immediately after lambasting people for protesting in their own way? Well, to answer your question, all right, I think that what you should do is you should go watch the movie PCU. This movie came out in the early 2000s, and it actually starred, oh God, I forget the guy's name, the comedian. This was before he was well known. Later on, he went on to be on shows like Entourage and stuff like that. But this comedian, I forget his name, was he was the star of the movie, all right? And then also this movie had the guy who is the big time director at Disney and Marvel. What's that guy's name? I can't remember his name either. He directed Iron Man, and he directed a bunch of movies. He's the character in the Marvel Universe from the Iron Man movies. Why can't I remember his name? I'm having so many brain farts today. I can't remember any names. Okay? But basically, you should watch this movie PCU. Because this movie is about protesting. Seriously, it's about how Jon Favreau, that is his name, correct. Jon Favreau is actually an actor in this movie PCU. He's not the main character. He's a side character in this movie, interestingly enough. So anyway, and no, it's not John Hamm. It's God, I can't remember the comedian's name. He's a good comedian, a good actor, and I cannot remember his name. Like I said, he was on Entourage. But anyway, so the reason you should watch this movie is because, is it Jeremy Piven? Yes, Jeremy Piven. That's correct. Jeremy Piven. That's his name. But this movie is about people protesting and how it's absolutely ridiculous. Now, by the way, this movie is 21 or so years old, okay, if not older, yet it's very much in line with today. That everyone is an oversensitive person. Everyone complains about everything, protests everything. And it's to the point where basically protest gets so ridiculous that people spend more time protesting than doing actual productive things with their lives. And it's hilarious, this movie. I recommend you watch it. It's a good movie. I remember it from back in the day. And it's still today, 20 years later, it's just as pertinent, if not more pertinent, with all these protest movements we have on the internet. The point I'm making here is you are very, very free to protest something however you want. That's fine. But then beware being a hypocrite by then going and accidentally supporting the thing that you just protested against, like a lot of people seem to be doing today. Okay? Fair enough. Yes, I learned all my life lessons from movies. That is correct. Rostro Medial. Absolutely. Okay. That's Nico C says, oh, so the movie we started out as a comedy, but now today it's a documentary. Yeah. It's pretty over the top crazy. But anyway, thank you, Shooter McGavin, for that very insightful super chat. Nathan Smith did a super chat. He says, who are your favorite villains in games, films, and shows? Without going into monstrous detail here, favorite villain in games, probably Kefka is the ultimate chaos villain. And what I mean by that is it's not that he's evil, it's that he's chaotic evil. He's just nuts to the point where he just wants to burn the fucking world down. And how do you stop that? Because other villains you can rationalize with. You can't rationalize with a madman. The guy's just fucking nuts. So he's just going to destroy everything and doesn't give a fuck. That's the ultimate villain right there. There you go. Films and shows? Oh, man. I don't know. I have to really strongly think about that. Skeletor is definitely the ultimate villain. Okay. Wind Carl did a super chat and answered the question. Okay, I have. And I hope that you enjoyed the answer. Wind Carl. Thank you, by the way, for that identical super chat that you did with LSB Gaming earlier. It totally didn't prove that you're sitting on a restream parroting the notions of brainless twits and that you're a very independent thinker who, speaks for himself. Congratulations on that. There you go. What? Furry Crawl says the ultimate villain was McDonald's in the movie where the dude ate McDonald's. You mean Super Size Me? I saw that movie. The movie where the guy for 30 days straight only ate McDonald's food, and every time he went to McDonald's, if they offered to supersize his meal at the drive-thru, he would accept it. This was back when they did supersizing, and then they actually, after the release of the movie, within like a few months, they stopped the whole supersizing program and never did it ever again. Pretty crazy. Anyway, what was I talking about? Nothing. We're getting, I don't even remember. We're getting the tips now. I'm so confused. We're going to show shout outs for tips, okay? And again, guys, the best way to support me today is by tipping. I really need help with tips today. So if you can tip me today, please do. I'm trying to raise funds to pay my freaking mortgage. I need as much help as I can get. So thank you in advance to anyone who tips me today, okay? What is going on here? There we go. I couldn't scroll my tips page for a second. Oh my god, that's absolutely disgusting. Oh my god. I'm so sorry, guys. It's absolutely nasty. Anyway, Waifu Lord Lycifer Soul started the tipping today with a $4 tip and said, what's with these dumb fucks at Rockstar devs focusing on GTA 5 for 10 years like it's Destiny? Why the fuck is Red Dead and the other GTAs getting a remaster before any new Bully game? Yeah, interestingly enough, if you guys aren't aware, they were making a Bully game. It's been documented now. Not only was the game in development, they already had done casting for voice actors and were already in the early stages of making the game. The plot was getting written and everything. And they had characters panned out and everything. And for some reason, they canceled it. And no one can figure out why. Besides the fact that maybe they all of a sudden started making so much money on GTA Online that they just dropped all development of other games to work on GTA Online to rake in more money. And I will just say this briefly. I've said it before and I'll say it again. You have to be aware that your actions in life have repercussions, all right? We all like Rockstar Games as a publisher. We think that they're one of the best ones out there. Usually, the vast majority of games that Rockstar put out are AAA class, highly polished, insanely fun games. But what you have to understand is when you support something like GTA Online to the insane amount that people did, they're not above selling out. And that's exactly what's happened is this is a company that said, fuck it. We don't need to make games anymore because everyone's just dropping money on this fucking stupid game where we put silly DLCs every 4-6 months and people drop, $1 million on it. I'm not one person, but you understand what I'm saying. They're raking in millions of dollars a year on GTA Online for minimum effort. So why do they care about making new games? And that is 100% something that happened as a result of people sinking money into that repetitive, quite frankly, not very meaningful gameplay. They fell for the trap. They think that for some reason that's worth spending money on, even though it actually held that game developer up from making other meaningful games. Bully 2 was being made, and they canceled it because they were working on GTA Online. So, if you play GTA Online and you've been sinking endless money into this game for years and years, you have no right to complain about Rockstar. Seriously. You're the reason why Rockstar is how they are right now. You're the one who lined their pockets for garbage. So, you know what I mean? It is what it is. And I just have to kind of shrug and say that is the reality of the situation. Now, if you don't care that Rockstar doesn't really put out games anymore and you like GTA Online, then more power to you. Seriously, go ahead and support that if that's what you like and you don't care about them putting out other new games, then that's fine. I have no right to criticize you then. But again, it's all about this hypocritical thinking. Oh, I seriously have played GTA Online since it released, how many years ago, and every month I spend $1,000 on it. Oh, but I'm mad that they didn't make GTA 6. What? You're the reason. You're literally the reason. So why are you complaining? Okay. The Fiend's Buzzard to me $4 and has a bunch of quotes about Cain and Abel in the Bible. I'm not reading that because I'm not a religious streamer. I know exactly the story of Cain and Abel in the Bible. I do, because I've read it many times, studied it, because I went to Catholic school. So I appreciate your tip. I have no idea why you're quoting Cain and Abel. Now, Only Iced Coffee has done a series of $1.50 tips. Let's read through these. First of all, he says, my grass turned brown and completely died this season because of lack of rain this summer. The excessive heat hasn't helped matters. I don't have air conditioning, so I currently have 3 fans blasting to help cool down today and tonight. Yeah, if we didn't have landscapers and sprinklers, all of our plants here would be dead. But we do, because we live in a nice community. So I'm lucky in that regard. We still have beautiful greenery and everything around us, despite the fact that this is one of the driest summers in recorded history in Washington State. Then he tipped again and says, I hope people aren't or haven't been holding out on tipping you this week because they know you're doing a marathon stream on Saturday. See, here's the thing. If that is the case, if people are like, man, Phil's doing a marathon on Saturday, he just announced it, I'll support him on Saturday and we'll help him out. Great. I have no problem with that at all. Really, I mean, that's great. If I get a ton of support tomorrow and I hit my goal and I'm able to pay my mortgage, I'm happy, right? Who cares if I make it today or tomorrow, right? But if people are like, oh, I'm just holding out, I'm not going to support Phil at all this week because he's doing a marathon on Saturday. By the way, I'm not contributing to that marathon, but I'm just relying on a small group of people to come in and save his butt. That's bad. That's not how this works, all right? Crowdfunding is not leaning on 3 people. It's a ton of people, thousands of people, watching my content all around the world and saying, I support Phil, I want to help him out, and I can. I'm not putting myself into any, situation of personal hardship by helping him. Here's $1, right? That's crowdfunding. That's how it works. So that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that it's not a situation where there's people just kind of sitting around and saying, oh, on Saturday, the usual suspects will come by and help out Phil. That's not the point or the case. That's not what we're trying to do here. I don't want me running a business dependent on just a few people. It's about people all over the world enjoying the variety of content that I do and not going crazy with self-sacrifice to allow me to continue to do what I love for a living. Okay? Fair enough? I hope that makes sense. But that's the thing. If there are people who are like, man, I can't wait. I love Fallout New Vegas. I've loved Phil's playthrough up to this point. I can't wait to have a fun and chill Saturday with him, and I'm going to support that stream. Then that's perfectly fine. I'm not going to complain, right? So let's see what happens tomorrow. That's the thing. Okay. Only Iced Coffee did another tip, and he says, which do you think is worse, the Blizzard Activision scandal or Andrew Cuomo scandal? I would argue the Blizzard Activision scandal, if the allegations are true, is insanely worse. You're talking about systematic patterns of harassment. You're talking about completely unequal treatment of employees and employees who don't want to be mistreated, but they feel like because they're in a AAA company that if they leave that they're going to be blacklisted from the industry. We're talking disgusting, foul actions, Andrew Cuomo, if everything they said about him is true, I mean, yeah, he's a scumbag too, but there's a difference between one man taking actions for, some women around him versus systematic harassment of all the female employees of a company and basically keeping them hostage at this company in this disgusting, unsafe work environment. I think it's a little different. Okay? It's basically like one disgusting sexual lech versus an entire culture of disgusting actions. It's a little different in scale. Okay? And then Only Iced Coffee did one final tip. He says, Eternal Napalm reminded me of something. I find it ironic these people and companies who preach about anti-harassment inclusion are actually the ones who are always the ones hiding skeletons in their closets. Now, isn't it funny? Because I just said something about this kind of stuff recently. I said, ladies and gentlemen, this was earlier this year when all these companies want to post up about social justice and their efforts to support it, right? Every major company jumps on the fucking bandwagon whenever there's a social justice movement. Oh, we support it full-heartedly. We're behind you. We're going to change our company logo to support what you're saying and whatever. And I criticized and I said, isn't it funny because do you not understand that a company is not a person? Maybe personally you're moved when a person who actually is a human being comes out and says, I support this movement, here's why, and they put some meaning behind their belief. Versus when a company says it, 99.99999999999% of the time, it's because they want brownie points with the public, and they feel that supporting a social justice movement makes them sound like a better company, and they hope it will result in favorable viewership or views or favorable attention from the public and hopefully increased sales. Seriously, that's why they do it. Do you really think, honestly, that a shoe company, a streamer company, a company that makes pencils? Do you really think anyone gives two fucks if they support one of these movements? No, but they oh man, I gotta change everything this month to show that I'm supportive of this and this and this. Virtue signaling is not true social justice. It's called twisting social justice to be beneficial to you for personal gain. And that's why when you hear these companies come out and say, we support this, we support that, it's hilarious then when you hear months later that they're the ones who are the most guilty. Right? Right? Right. Okay, let's move on. Eternal Napalm tipped me $5 and says, did you hear the great news? Sony and From Software are working together on a new game, and it's a PS5 exclusive. Seems legit, as the source accurately leaked Ghost of Tsushima's expansion. I'm super pumped. I talked about this actually, was it yesterday? I talked about it either yesterday or the day before. And yeah, I am pumped too. Although I was confused because the rumor is that it's a Dark Souls game, which makes no sense because number one, they outright said Dark Souls is done. They don't want to make another one. And in addition, we already have a Sony franchise in Bloodborne that everyone is clamoring for a sequel to, with that they've ignored for years and years. So why would they go back to Dark Souls rather than make Bloodborne 2? That's confusing to me. Okay. Chocoboko tipped me $5, says, I keep my comments and tips only. Using a fake name and avoiding the chat is the way to go. Abso-freaking-lutely. If you're a contributor, I recommend you do not use your real name that you use in the chat. That way people cannot associate your contributions with your name, and they cannot harass you online for them. I really appreciate those who go out of their way to support me with tips and then protect their identities. Even though I may not personally know who you are in the chat, I super duper appreciate your support, and I know why you go out of your way to protect yourself, and you absolutely should. Very nice. So, the Fiend's Buzzer did another $4.20 tip, and it's another weird message that makes absolutely no sense, and I appreciate the tip, but I'm not reading that. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for a great pre-stream. Let's take a brief break. I'm going to use the restroom. When we come back, I'm actually going to try out Hades. I have no idea how I'm going to like it. Like I said, this is essentially a test stream to see if I enjoy the game, if you guys enjoy watching me play the game, and go from there. I'm not committing to playing the game at length. Let's see how it goes today. I hope that I do like it. Maybe I will make a playthrough out of it, but let's find out together, okay? I'm being screamed at that I missed a super chat by Wind Carl. So let's go ahead and let's go over to YouTube and let's check out this super chat. The super chat says, why do you hate Mars Attacks? Well, I'll tell you why. In the 1990s, I went to the theaters and I saw Mars Attacks with my dad. We went to see it because the actors in the movie were very high profile. I mean, so there's a lot of famous people in that movie. And we didn't basically understand the movie. Like, we laughed maybe a small handful of times, but we just didn't find it very, it's like nonsense. The movie's nonsense, essentially. Like, it's not serious at all, right? And I just never really understood the movie. I didn't think it was funny at all. I thought it was kind of cheesy and ham-handed and over-the-top, trying too hard with ridiculous stuff. I just didn't enjoy it. Neither did my dad. And the thing is, we were fans of those actors and actresses in the movie, including Jack Nicholson, who's the lead. But we just didn't like it. I don't know what to tell you. We just didn't enjoy it. That was many years ago. Maybe if I were to watch it today, I would like it. But I can tell you I didn't like it back then. Okay? Alvaro Ponte tipped me $5.50 and says, Phil, try to stay low, but I send you for help. Yes, Alfred, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate the fact that you do support me with tips. And I certainly hope that you have never had any negative repercussions as a result of doing so. Thank you. Okay. By the way, he's the top tipper of the stream now. Let's take a brief break, everybody. When I come back from the break, it's Hades time, all right? So grab a drink or a snack yourselves. I'll be back in a few with Hades. I'll see you guys in a bit.